If you're like me, you have an avid outdoorsman on your holiday gift list. Luckily for us, Leanne Pantenberg is here from SurvivalCommonSense.com with some great inexpensive gift ideas. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
I'm so happy to have you back. Now, you've brought a really interesting array. I mean, you've got something for, it seems like, every outdoorsman on your list. Let's start with the map. Why would a map be important?
Well, to start with, your excursion is going to be very bad if you get lost and you can't get home. One of the easiest ways to make sure this doesn't happen is to get a map, get a compass, and get a GPS. Don't leave any of these out of the whole triad. You want to have the materials you need so that you won't get lost. Buying someone a GPS for Christmas is not a good idea if they don't know how to use it. And they must first have something like this compass, which works on a map, or something along these lines so you don't just rely on the GPS.
Right.
Any GPS is as reliable as the batteries that power it.
Well, and Brianna's going to get some shots too, of some close-up shots of these items as we talk about them. But I think a great gift idea would be to get a GPS and then maybe get a pay for a class through our friend Bic Miller.
Exactly.
Yeah, and really teach them the full spectrum.
Exactly, because you need to know how to use these tools. It's like anything, practice makes perfect, and you don't want to get out there and go, now, does the red needle go north or what? You know.
I remember this from campfire, but I don't. I'm not there anymore. Bluebirds have been, you know, it's a long ways away.
Right.
You also have some whistles?
Yes, I do. And everybody should have a whistle because you need to be able to signal. And anybody who saw Titanic realizes that our heroine would have drowned on that board when she's out there floating around if she would not have had the whistle. The type of whistle to get for this area, I always prefer these kind. They are sold by Search and Rescue, and the money goes to support Search and Rescue, or something like this. These are really loud, but they don't have a P in them. That means when you blow into them, your breath is not going to cause that to freeze and cause it to not work. So make sure that you have a whistle that's designed for our winter weather out here.
That's fantastic. I never would have thought about that. You've got some ways to start fires?
Absolutely, and some of these ways are the type of present a child could make for dad or mom.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to do that. One of the best fire starters is cotton balls and Vaseline. It is not complicated. Anybody can do it. You can take a little container such as this. This is just a diabetic test strip container. You can open it with your thumb, and you can put 3 cotton balls with Vaseline in there. Total cost of this would be about 8 to 9 cents.
Yeah.
And it's the type of thing anybody can have. It's very effective. You can carry it with all your gear. This goes along with a ferro rod. And this is a ferrocerium rod, technically, but what it does is makes a great spark.
Woo.
And that's how you light
That's
that.
fun.
Yes. So these 2 tools right here would be very cheap and very easy to get. You can make your own cotton balls and Vaseline. I would urge you to do that. You can get a ferrocerium rod virtually anywhere. The one I have is a custom one because I just happen to like that sort of tool. And when you take these with you, it's as good as you can get for emergency fire making.
Yeah, your matches are not going to get soggy.
They are not going to get soggy.
What about the Bic Lighters?
The Bic Lighters are a very useful tool, but they have limitations. Of course, this one works here because we're inside the studio. It's warm. When it gets cold, these are not going to work. So what you want to carry is a combination of these 2 for your fire making.
Okay.
But this Bic lighter has been tricked out, as we say. I took off the child-proof thing right there. I put a pop top on the bottom and then taped it in, and then I wrapped some Gorilla Tape around it.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do then, when you're out in the wilderness or you're in several feet of snow, when you take out your lighter, you clip it onto there. You put this around your neck, and then you're not going to lose your gear. So it makes it a lot easier. Another thing I do, and you'll notice that there tends to be a pattern going on here, is that I have a lot of duct tape on everything. Duct tape is wonderful. Here is how, again, one of the kids can make a present for mom or dad. Take a paper clip, wrap about 1.5 feet of duct tape on there, and then get some of this chapstick or other type of lip balm. Get the kind that has sun protection. That way you can use it on your nose or your cheeks or any exposed skin. When you get out to use this again, clip it onto your lanyard. You're not going to drop it in the snow. If you do drop it, chances are you'll find it.
Right. because it's got the fluorescent tape on it, and tape it for anything. I mean, you never know where you're going to use that.
Absolutely. I use tape all the time.
Yeah.
You use tape all the time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure do. Now this, I want to show this off because you brought this in and he wasn't going to show it, but we all thought it was so cool. You fit, I mean, it's, what I think is remarkable about it is it's so small. People think they have to have these huge packs full of everything at the outfitter store. It's not true.
No, absolutely not. What you need to look at is your gear and make sure you get the best available and make sure it's compact. If it's not compact, you're not going to carry it. It's going to be the type of thing you go, well, that weighs 30 pounds, I'm going to leave it in the car. This pack here, when it's fully loaded, weighs probably about 15 pounds, and it has all of this or most of this stuff in there. I don't carry 3 whistles all the time, but it has most of that stuff in there. And what you need is shelter, water, fire, and food. And I can carry all of that in this pack. Here's my water bottle, of course. My shelter will be this right here. This is a large garbage bag, if you will. It's a 55-gallon one, but it's a special type. You cut a hole in the top, pull it over your head, and you have an immediate shelter. This is really important if you've got to get out of the wind or rain or something like that. So that goes in here. I always have this with it too. On the side pockets right here. This is where my GPS goes, right in there. So I'm always able to reach down and grab it and see where I am and that sort of thing. And when all this is set up, you have a really self-sufficient type of way to carry your gear. One thing I didn't mention yet was this little light. This is a headlamp, single LED. Very light, but it goes in there. So I have a whole bunch of good survival tools with me that I can carry easily. And because I can carry them easily, I will.
This is fantastic, Leon, and just goes to show you, you do not have to spend hundreds of dollars on your outdoorsmen to get them the things that they really need and the things that will save their lives. There's more at SurvivalCommonSense.com. Leon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.